All right, so this is Stephen Colbert taking a swipe at Ron Paul, if you haven't heard, but he's going to be attacking Paul Ryan in the meantime.
Before the break, we were discussing the brave fiscal ministry of Congressman Paul Ryan, who says his deep budget cuts to programs for the poor are in concordance with Catholic doctrine. Now, in response, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops replied, and I hope I'm pronouncing my Latin correctly, bullshit. Plus, the Jesuits in the Georgetown Mafia sent Ryan a nasty letter saying, your budget appears to reflect the values of your favorite philosopher, Ayn Rand, rather than the gospel of Jesus Christ. Rand, of course, believed that the only rational behavior is to pursue your own selfish interest, a belief shared by Rand admirers like Ron Paul, Clarence Thomas, and Scrooge McDuck.
Okay, so first he said, Ron Paul is just like Paul Ryan and Ayn Rand to pursue your own personal interest. You know, is that what Ron Paul says? Let's see. What did Colbert say again? Let's play it. Let's make sure we get it exactly right.
Clarence Thomas and Scrooge McDuck. Gospel of Jesus Christ. Rand, of course, believed that the only rational behavior is to pursue your own selfish interest, a belief shared by Rand admirers like Ron Paul.
Okay, pursue your own selfish interest. Now, is that what Ron Paul is about, or what Ron Paul is for? No, he's not. Ron Paul is about pursuing your freedom. You know, it's not about your selfish interest. That's what's going on right now. Everybody is worried about their own selfish interest. That's why nobody's worried about what else is going on. That's why a lot of people aren't worried about Iraq and worried about Afghanistan, because they're not getting bombed. You know, as long as their situation is getting better. You know, once people's situation gets better, who knows, make more money, get a better job, they don't care even more. Because in this world, we're built to believe that it's all about us. We got to take care of ourselves. We got to just worry about us and our family, and that's it. And what people don't understand is when you don't worry about nobody else and you don't take in consideration what's going on around the world, then you're going to get it twice as hard when it comes back to you. You're going to get what you deserve. You know, so we have to speak up. We're definitely not the ones about pursuing our own personal interests. We're about pursuing the interests of the country. And that's what Ron Paul is about. So I didn't really appreciate that. I know Colbert guy's little jokes, a little funny. I wish he would mention Ron Paul more. And I don't mind him joking Ron Paul, you know, as long as it has nothing to do about what his policy or what it is that he thinks. Because Ron Paul is definitely nowhere near in the same category as Paul Ryan. I mean, Paul Ryan, he doesn't want to cut no over war spending. Wants to cut people's food stamps and everything, but he don't want to cut nothing overseas. But anyways, let's keep on going with this clip.
Clarence Thomas and Scrooge McDuck. Ryan has defended himself, saying his reputation as an Ayn Rand follower was simply an urban legend. Exactly. Him admiring Rand is like Bigfoot. If Bigfoot had spoken at a celebration of Ayn Rand's 100th birthday and said this.
I grew up reading Ayn Rand, and it taught me quite a bit about who I am and what my value systems are and what my beliefs are. It inspired me so much that it's required reading in my office for all my interns and my staff. The reason I got involved in public service, by and large, if I had to credit one thinker, one person, it would be Ayn Rand.
Now, folks, I know you think you heard that, but it was just an urban legend. It was probably swamp gas reflecting off a weather balloon, and Venus was right. It's in the X-Files. The truth is out there. And the priest who wrote that nasty letter to Ryan has a lot to answer for. Here to answer for it, please welcome from Georgetown University, Father Thomas Reese. Father Reese, thank you so much for coming. Now, Father Reese, I don't get your problem or the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops' problem with Ryan's budget. Jesus said, whatsoever you do for the least of my brothers, that you do unto me. And all Ryan is suggesting is that we do the least we can. That's paraphrasing, but it's basic idea.
I think that's the problem. I mean, Jesus also said that we would be judged by whether we fed the hungry, gave drink to the thirsty, clothed the naked. And this budget doesn't do it. We believe that...
Okay, first of all, is Jesus the government? Or I should say, is the government Jesus? We should all give to the poor and help out as people. Where in the world is in the Bible it says steal money from your brother so you can pass it on to somebody else? And that's what Ron Paul talks about. You can't steal money from someone and try to, even if the purpose or the intentions is good. You're stealing money. You can't redistribute money. And this guy's going to actually come up and say some more crazy things. Let's see.
The budget is a moral document. It represents the values of a country, of a nation. And the values in this budget are that we would rather cut taxes for the rich than help the poor. And that's just simply unacceptable.
Okay, now, Jesus did say that it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. But he said nothing about job creators. And that's what Ryan's talking about here. Ryan is talking about keeping the money with the wealthiest Americans so that they can create jobs. It's called trickle-down economics, all right? So you guys in the church, you trickle down all the time. You trickle that holy water on us. You're allowed to do it, and Ryan's not. What do you not understand trickle down?
I think that in the gospel, it's very clear that Jesus reached out and helped the poor, helped the sick. And this is what he calls us to do as his disciples. I mean, we're to show one another that we love one another and follow Christ in caring for the sick, caring for the poor, caring and giving people a hand up so that they can do these things.
He said, love thy neighbor, okay? But I got some pretty well-off neighbors. So if I let them keep their tax cuts, aren't I loving my neighbor? Does my neighbor have to be the poor guy? Why can't my neighbor be the rich guy?
Well, I think
Did I nail you? Are you nailed right now?
No. The way we love our neighbor.
Okay, so we're going to come back to this interview because he says some more interesting things. But you see how earlier he's talking about, we need to help out the poor and everything like that. We just want to give cut taxes for the rich instead of help out the poor. This is how they do this. They try to make it seem like they're on your side, make it seem like they're fighting for the poor. No, you're not. Both of you guys are wrong. The Democrats are wrong. There's no reason to tax people any more than what they're being taxed already, even the rich people. The people that are rich and the ones everybody are mad at, we're not mad at them because of tax cuts. We're mad because they're making their money by stealing it from the taxpayers. That's different. And then Republicans just want to cut everything but overseas spending. Anyways, we'll be back. I'm your host, Paco.
Hi, I'm Dana, and I started out as a Ron Paul fan just like you. And now I'm a full-time volunteer leader at our Ron Paul headquarters in Venice, California. It starts with the first thing you hear Ron Paul say that is different than all the other politicians and that you just happen to agree with 100%. Next, there's a point where you realize that you agree with everything he has to say, and then, well, what's next? If you live in Los Angeles, you're lucky enough to be near the heart of the grassroots campaign center we have